All right, what's up, familia? Welcome inside the Big Week. Hope you guys are doing good. Keeping between the lines. Got your load secure. Okay, so this subject was coming up, man, because a lot of people were getting at me of what I thought about the whole the lefty gunplay rapper dude and what he said. And I don't really keep up with him or any rappers. It's not really my thing. But I was sent the clip of what he said. I don't know what podcast he was on or anything like that, but and it's something that I touched on a while back. So I'll go ahead and touch on it here. So, like I said, I don't know Lefty Gunplay, dog. I am familiar with his barrio, though. I used to live in Bowen Park. I lived in Bowen Park at the time when his barrio was first, coming to be. I knew a couple of those characters, man. And when they were first forming their neighborhood, not to say that I know him now, that was many years ago, but so I am familiar where he's from. But as far as him, I don't know any of his jams. I don't know anything, talk. When it comes to him or any other rapper of today. But the subject itself, what he said, I thought is a little interesting, because I think we're in a time and age today, and not just today, but maybe in the last few years, where the worst thing in the world is to be called a racist, which I don't think it is. But society has put it out there that if you're labeled a racist some way, somehow, that's the worst thing. It's like being called a racist is worse than being called a pedophile. And not to me, it's not. All right. All right. So basically, he said that he wouldn't let his son or daughter, I don't know which one, marry a black person, right? I don't know. I didn't watch the interview, and I'm not gonna watch it. I don't know if he was asked a certain question. I have no idea if the person on the podcast was black or whatever it may be. I got no idea, all right? But it's an interesting topic, because I think people actually lie. And in society, we live in this lie, right? It's like, when the heavyset chick says, hey, do I look fat in this dress? We as a society have just made it that, hey, the correct answer is just to say no, even though she does. But we don't want to hurt her feelings, right? Even though her health could be in jeopardy. But let's just lie and say that no, you don't, even though the real actual answer, telling the truth, is yes, you look fat. Okay, so when it comes to this whole thing in race, right? Most people I have found wouldn't date outside of their race. Okay, regardless of what it is, man, whites, blacks, Asians, whatever it may be. Especially Asians, dog. Especially Asians. Certain Asians more than others, but especially Asians would not really be down with dating outside of their race. I don't like, look, first and foremost, I don't like whenever you got to talk about race, immediately it just goes to black, right? It's like in this country, it's either white or black. Like, that's it. Like, nobody else lives from sea to shining sea right here in the good old US of A, baby, right? Now, like I said, again, I don't know if he was asked a question specifically of a black person, or was it outside of the race, right? But like I said, when people are asked in public, I hear the correct answer as it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? But then you get that person in private. And most likely they'll let you know that they don't really date outside of their race. That, not that they're racist or anything, because you always have to follow up with the fact that you're not racist, every time you speak on race, you always have to follow up with the fact that you're not racist, right? Which is, I won't go there, dog. But anyway, yeah, you get that person in private, and they'll most likely let you know, like, yeah, you know what, I kind of date within my own. That's about it, man. Maybe just for fun, for one night or whatever. Yeah, but as far as dating and something serious, kind of keep it within your own. I find that most people get down like that. All right, but will they come out publicly and say it, or say it amongst a group of people? No, they won't. They'll say again the correct answer, which is, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? Like I said, if it's just for the night, or if it's just for, again, sexual fun or whatever, yeah, I find that people will go ahead and go here, go there, right? But when it comes to settling down and having a real, actual, serious relationship, marriage, family, kids, I find that most people would kind of just stick to their own, right? Again, most. So, when it comes to me, right? For example, when it comes to me, because people are asked, parents are asked, hey, would you be down if your kid or, your son, your daughter dated outside? And every time, dog, when it's talked about outside of your race, your ethnicity, whatever it may be, immediately it goes to black. I don't know why. I guess maybe just because that's always what's on television, right? If it's racist, it's always towards blacks or whatever it may be, right? But parents are always asked that, or parents, whenever they're asked that, parents always give the correct answer, right? Which is, no, as long as they're happy, as long as they're treated well, as long as they're happy. Okay, all things being equal, that they're going to be treated well and that they're going to be happy, what would be your answer? Oh, it's their lives, it's up to them. Yes, we understand that. We understand it's their lives. Again, your answer, oh, it's not my place to say. Again, there's always this fear of being looked at as a racist, so much that people don't want to give a true answer. It's very easy to give an answer where it's like, wow, you know what, man, if my child is gonna settle down with somebody who's raza, homie, and they don't treat them right, and they're abusive, and they're not happy, yeah, I'd rather have them be with somebody outside, right, who's gonna treat them right, treat them good, and make them happy, as opposed to somebody who's raza, who's gonna be abusive. Yes, of course. I swear, dog, people are so scared to be looked at as racist or to not give the politically correct answer. Okay, again, all things being equal, all right, they're gonna be happy. They're gonna be treated right. Would you have a preference of your child settling down outside of the race or within the race? I will give you my honest answer. Yeah, I would rather somebody be, somebody of a Mexican background. Okay, now here's my answer, all right? I would prefer, I have two sons, right? I would prefer them to settle down within. Yes, I would. That's my preference, right? Of course, like I said earlier, man, then all that comes in. Oh, so you'd rather have them be with a girl who's going to be cheating on them, and as long as they're a raza, instead of dating outside? No, of course not. Of course not. Okay? I'm saying all things equal. Now, here's the thing. All right? That would be my preference, all right, for them. Now, here's the thing. If one of them or both of them decided to settle down outside, right? It didn't just have to be black. Again, man, black is just always thrown whenever race is brought up. It's just black, could be black, could be Asian, could be white, you know, could be so many Pacific Islander, whatever it may be, right? If one or both decided to go down that route, yeah, then I'd be all for it, man. As long as they are all for it, right? I would say, okay, you know, hey, son, you know, if that's who you fell in love with, and that person loves you, and you know that's the life that you want to live and have kids with, and you know, hey, man, hey, then a toda madre. I'm not gonna, you know, stand up at their wedding and say like, you know what, stop this wedding right now because I'm not down with it. No, no, I'm not. Because yes, ultimately it's their choice. All right, but for parents to say like, I don't care, I extremely don't care, that's just a fear of being looked at as racist, dog. And people just try to prove so hard that they don't have some racist bone in their body, and it's ridiculous, dog. It's ridiculous. Yes, I would prefer my sons to settle down with somebody of some Mexican background. Yes, I would. Or at least some sort of, you know, Latino background, whether it be Central American, Venezuela, Cubana, something of that sort, you know. But if it's not, then it's not. And I'm not going to have a big issue with it where I'm going to need to, you know, try to convince them otherwise. No, chale, dog, you know what? Yeah, it's your life. It's you're a grown man. You're a grown adult. And hey, son, you know what? If all is good, Holmes. I'm there, dog. I'm there to support it. All right. So, but I truly believe that most parents do have a preference of who their child settles down with. They're just not going to say it. Because if they say it, then the whole tidal wave comes down on them that they're racist. And if their child decides to marry or settle down with somebody outside, right? Now that seems like they're not going to love that person, or they're going to be, you know, hateful towards that person, or they're going to say, oh man, you know what, I'm not down with this marriage. They're going to be pretending that they're okay with it when they're really just dying inside. No, that's not it, man. That's not it. You know, just like when parents are about to have kids, right? It's like, hey, what do you want? Oh, it doesn't matter as long as they're healthy. Because if you come out publicly and say it, and then you have something else, right? If you wanted a son, but then you have a daughter, oh, hey, you know what? He really didn't want you. He really didn't want that little girl. It's like, it's ridiculous, dog. It's ridiculous that now the standard politically correct answer has to be like, doesn't matter as long as they're healthy. As long as they're healthy. Well, what happens if they're not healthy? Then what? That shows that you hate the kid? What if the child came out, you know, a little jacked up, homie, unfortunately? But does that mean that you despise that child now? Look, I said it. I wanted sons. Thank goodness I had sons, you know. But if I had daughters, that wasn't going to, you know, take me away from loving my daughters. I wasn't going to be like, oh, man, you know, I really didn't want you. Like, no, dog, I had daughters. So, yeah, you know what? Look, going back on what he said, again, I'm not going to say I don't have a problem with what he said. I don't know that dude, Holmes. I don't know him. I don't really know his get down. So I'm not even really talking about him. The subject was brought up because of him, yes, but I'm not talking about him. I'm just talking about, I see it, you know, even the black people that I know. Shout out to my boy Daryl, my brother from a colored mother, man. Yeah, dog, you know, he would say the same thing. It's like, hey, you know what? He would want his son and his daughter to settle down with a black person. Okay, now how big of an issue one would have if they didn't, well, that's up to you. I'm telling you where I stand. All right, and I get it. I understand everybody's not going to admit that, oh man, I just, as long as they're happy, like you really have no thoughts, no opinions about it whatsoever. In reality, everybody's just scared to be looked at as racist. And by the way, I want to go and say, well, you know what? Now I'll save that for another video. This one's already getting long. But yeah, dog. Dating and everything. Look, my homeboy, he's married to an Asian girl. Ain't nobody treat her bad or anything of that sort. And it's fine. But are there preferences when it comes to parents? I'm not gonna speak for all parents, but most that I come across, yeah. But publicly, they won't say that because everyone's scared to be looked at as racist. So anyway, like I said, I was gonna say something else, man, but I'll save that for another video. That's my thoughts on it. And yeah, there you go, dog. Everybody just keep on keeping on, Holmes. Everybody just keep on keeping on with the lies, and let's just keep living this lie that nobody has any thoughts, any opinions, as long as they're treated right. Yes, of course, as long as they're treated right. Yes. Outside of that, you have no thoughts, no opinions, no preference. Let's keep pushing that. I've always said it, man. You are part of society. So when you complain about society, understand your contribution to society. Keep on keeping on. Let's just keep on saying those things and keep on living this lie. Like nobody has any thoughts, any opinions, nothing. Keep on keeping on, everybody. All right? As always, familia, live your life like you're on the road. Be aware of your surroundings. Always keep a safe distance. Blood makes you live. Below, it's makes family. Till next time, this is Ed the Troll Trucker. Over and out.